This should be our cold opening then. I didn't realize that friend of the show, Julie Sherman-Wolf, was a Niners fan, and that y'all lost to them. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's yous, not y'all. And
That's true.
It's a bone of contention that will come up in this episode.
Well, Julie, if you're watching, just know you have a compatriot of I guess the 49ers don't really care about
you don't like the 49ers, you like the Giants, and nobody likes the Giants right now.
I know.
I like the Eagles because I'm supposed to.
I like the Eagles because I was, raised
born here. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm supposed to like the Eagles.
Yeah. And I'm bred to hate the Eagles, so it's a good thing we're friends outside of sports.
Although I do have pictures of us at sporting events, only in Philly, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time.
A long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin.
Oh yeah. When are we gonna make that an actual fart noise? Like I really
next week, apparently.
Yeah, when Mike comes up, it's like.
When are we gonna get the song rewritten? I don't want to ask Matt and Jill to do that, but maybe. And Mike.
Oh, hey, should we welcome our 4 fans?
No, we've had good numbers this season.
We have good numbers. Listen. I downplay us, but I think we're great, and I think
we are.
This is Kevin. He's one of our hosts.
Hi, this is Kristin. She's one of our hosts, and this is Mike. He is our producer extraordinaire.
Yeah,
and click our buttons. I'm sorry that I missed last week, but honestly, it was the week of 8 movies, and I'm okay with missing it.
Mike, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
You missed Kevin getting inappropriate on the podcast, and
what? You're the one who talked about how having hot chocolate is sexy times.
You're the one that said he could make his own hot chocolate.
That's true. But we are both the ones who talked about smashing my plates.
Smashing my plates.
And listen, we are trying to make that happen. So please hashtag it just in everything. Write it in your Christmas newsletter.
Even if it's just like a photo of you around the tree with your family. Smash my plates.
Smash my plates.
Kevin, how many movies did we watch this weekend?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. We watched 4 movies this week. I do want to start off by saying we are starting this week with a body count of 30 in Hallmark. That's a lot. That is 7 more than Die Hard.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, these are plot points.
Plot plops.
Yeah, plot plops. A lot of plot props even. Let the plop hit the floor. So we started off on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock on the Miracles of Christmas channel with Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas, the 270th movie in the Time to Come Home series. Whew, mama. Listen, I miss Evergreen. This one might need to be retired, but let's talk about it. Facing her first Christmas without her mother. It's right in the opening.
Oh, do we? Wait, should I play it or are we saving it? Let's do it. It's Dead Mom Alert. Dead Mom Alert, everybody. Dead Mom Alert.
What?
Yeah. Dead Mom Alert. Sorry.
It goes on.
My cat hates that noise.
Yeah.
If I'm like editing one of our videos and plays it, he like and runs off.
Agent Coulson finds it to be a lazy writing trope. And he's like, come on.
He's like,
maybe something else. Yeah. Facing her first Christmas. We just said why. Yeah. And looking to avoid loneliness, Carly heads to a quaint town to lead the church choir at Christmas. Once there, she meets Matthew, a man back in town after serving in the army. Thank you for your service. As she gets to know Matthew, the choir, and townspeople, she stumbles across clues that suggest she may have been brought here for a life-changing reason. Reason for the season. As the mystery unravels, one thing is clear. The journey will teach Carly about true love, learning to trust, and that forgiveness is needed to find healing.
Oh.
Directed by Ali Lieber, who we adore. Ali Lieber directed House Sitter and last week's Christmas in Notting Hill. Written by Marcy Holland, who has written all of the time for Fill in the Blank to Come Home for Christmas and A Biltmore Christmas from last week. And starring Shanae Grimes Beach from Scream 4 and When I Think of Christmas, Chris Carmack from Grey's Anatomy and All About Christmas Eve. Different than my movie of It's Christmas Eve. This is All About Christmas Eve. Similar.
It's Christmas Eve.
Best movie so far of all time. Not just in these movies.
No, like of all time.
With The Godfather and Jaws. Yeah, sure. And Gracie Lear from the 18th season of American Idol.
Nice.
I'm sorry, what?
She was from the 18th season of American Idol. You know, we've all kept up, right? Nobody's behind on American Idol.
Wait a minute. I don't remember. I didn't watch it.
Well, I think most people stopped watching somewhere around 11 or 12. So, yeah. So, guys, I don't know where to start other than to say that this bad boy starts in the city of brotherly love.
Wow.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
And immediately goes off the rails. It was Rocky Day, by the way, yesterday. In Philadelphia.
Happy Rocky Day to those who
Happy Rocky Day. Happy Rocky Day to you, Michael, and to your wife, Adrian. I'm sorry, I had to.
Whoa, he wrote that before we started.
No, I just popped in the dome. That's off the dome.
You know, my wife Adrian's mom hates Rocky because she called her daughter Adrian, and everyone was always like, "Oh, like Rocky." So Adrian had not seen my wife Adrian had not seen Rocky until a year ago, and when we went through some Oscar contender movies.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, side note.
Rocky 1's a good one. 2's okay. Clubber
No,
Lang
I like the one with the Russian dude.
That's
three?
4.
4.
That's 4. Come on.
So
Keep
good.
up. But I said it in the cold opening. I was so angry at this movie immediately because she says y'all at one point. Carly says, I can't wait to see y'all. And I was like, whoa, you're in Philadelphia. You should have said use. And that was it. I was like,
You're like, I'm out. This movie's terrible.
Hey, this is not real.
Who's the dialect coach on this? Not Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, Tony DeVito, we had a conversation, but we weren't recording. That would have been fantastic to bring that back.
It is interesting because there was a point where we were like, these evergreen movies, we get it.
Yeah.
Right. And you just shut it down.
Yeah.
We get it. Someone has to come home to find out that they're part of a family they didn't know they were part of.
Yeah.
We get it. So this one was a little tiring for me. The only exciting thing for me was how gorgeous this woman and her bangs are.
Oh, yeah.
I love the look of this woman.
Yeah.
Like, what just adored her very, very much.
Mike, you brought the city back up. I was like, this is the best thing. This is the skyline. Yeah.
They also were pushing real hard that these two just belonged together. Yeah. And then at one point I got real excited because it didn't seem like because he liked the other woman from the town. And I was like, I love this. I thought they were going to find out that they were siblings or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best movie ever. And then no, they ruined it by having them fall in love anyway.
2 movies this weekend where the wrong people end up together as a couple. It was very weird. And they set it up and it's like, oh, refreshing. This is different. I didn't mind too much because it's basically like trying to be like a novel, but you don't have inner monologue. So, or inner thinking. So the idea that the two of them keep crossing each other, I thought it was kind of charming. That's why that photo was in there. But they did do it a ton where she gets a hot chocolate and leaves. He gets a hot chocolate and goes, can I get cinnamon in that? And then she goes,
and then she comes back. You got cinnamon?
And that it made it feel like, oh, they're related. Like they're brother and sister. Yeah.
I thought the one in the record store was the creepiest one because they were directly across from each other for a good 3 hours of what it felt like. And then they both were like, oh. But I will say that record tradition that she said her mom had, awesome.
I know. We should all do that.
Do you all want to do that?
Yes. We should write to us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. We'll set it up and we'll mail each other. We can't do that. That's expensive. We'll figure it out. We'll get each other right.
Spotify a song for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it going to be Steve's accordion Galarama or whatever? I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
So we did have a dead mom alert right at the front there, which puts us way up. I did want to say this. If Die Hard was 23, Lethal Weapon was 26, also a Christmas movie. Anything written by Shane Black, we know is a Christmas movie. What if we beat both of them? That's 49. I did the math, so you all don't have to.
We got it.
Yous don't have to.
I think we'll do it.
I think we might. Right now we're at 31. And we have a few weeks left. I think we could do.
Well, that's good because there's no more other dead characters that come up in this film specifically.
No, absolutely not. Wait a second.
Wait a minute! It's a dead sound alert. Sound alert.
It's
Yeah.
you've got your own.
Yeah.
He needs it for this episode.
3D.
That's why I thought that they were siblings for like a moment. I was like, oh my God, both their parents died. They were adopted and they didn't know, or this is their cousin's baby sister, former roommate. And like this, they're going to, but no.
Chris, I seriously, all the same thoughts. I was like, oh, this works out perfect. That's why she's brought this sound. That's why the pastor's wife is acting so strange all the time. Like always like shifty looking, like oh. So it was like, okay, that's their mom, and that's what they were for adoption. There was the pastor there checking her out, by the way.
Look, she could wear the bangs down. She can wear a side bang.
I love that
I am
dress.
obsessed with this woman.
And in Creepy Pastor's defense, that red shirt, red tie look, awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
I love that look.
You know what else is a great look? Is that I was a little worried because it was like, oh man, this takes place in a church. There's going to be probably some Jesus magic.
Yeah.
But because Allie directed the movie, behind the pastor's office, there was a rainbow of people and it said, all are welcome. And I was like, that is
I don't know.
very, very important.
That's the pastor's wife, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I thought that was a brilliant thing to do, especially, I mean, I feel like under her direction, this couldn't go wrong with like going to like,
going too far into I agree with that. There is this one little piece, and Mike, I was like, I hope I'm not stealing this from Mike, the bit that he does. And I sent pictures and I was like, I doubt it, because he's usually not this nerdy eclectic in this show. But the lost pick, the whole thing with the pick, the Joy pick, there it is there. That was her mom's, I guess. I know that she had a lot of her mom's crap she was looking around between that and the snow globe and like, carry her in your heart, dude.
Let go of the things. It's the heart.
And she does. She loses this and he picks it up on the bus. But it reminded me of another great movie that there it is.
I got a blown up one. Yeah, I don't know. You sent me a web.web for this one.
Sorry, dude. I tried to convert them all over, but I was moving fast.
No, it's okay.
But there it is.
Ridiculous.
Pick of destiny right there. And this was kind of their pick of destiny.
Question though.
Yeah.
If you hired a choir director, I mean, I get it. They hired her specifically because it was, her brother's daughter. Spoiler. But they would have hired someone to work with this terrible choir for 4 weeks for one song. One song.
Well, it was more than one song, but we only got one song, right? Because she wrote a whole new song. Was it only one? I thought it was a whole night of.
No, they only did one song at the Christmas Eve Mass.
And then she cycled it out with the one she wrote.
And then the pastor comes over. He's like, what if you came back next year and, I don't know, expanded the program and we did 3 songs? I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. She needs the whole year to work with them because they were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. But one of the reasons they were terrible is the whole reason they were singing. And we had, like, for example, I'll pick George, a gruff, surly man who's just there singing because his wife likes to sing, even though she's a terrible singer. Even more so now because
she's dead. She's dead. The wife is dead.
But I found that charming because, like, I've seen that actor a bunch, and He's always really good, but he was so gruff and mean. And I was like, oh God, I hate when they do this. We're up to 33. Not this week. It feels like it. It feels like just this movie.
I also listen when that teenage kid didn't show up to practice, and then they were like, "Where is he at?" I was like, "Did he die?"
Yeah, he was helping out because I think his dad, right? His dad was in the military.
In the military. Mike, you haven't shared. Do you have? Because you haven't seen many of these time for pronouns to come home for.
And that means I've still seen 0 of them because I didn't watch this one this week. I've decided when I got the review from you all via text on Thursday once, I'm waiting for the True Mysteries on the Mystery and Movies channel or ones I look endearing. This looked just like regular.
Well, I feel we should. Let's do it then. Let's get into this mystery before we give our full-on report on what we thought of this movie.
We always talk very long about the first one and then realize we don't have a lot of time for the
Exactly.
I know.
when we hate it.
There, her mom is gone. Obviously, it's in the description. So you might say to yourself, "Well, hey, why doesn't she just spend Christmas with her dad?" Well, her dad left when she was young, and she did reconnect with him a few years back. However,
he's also dead, everybody. It's an additional dad. That's 2. Number 2. Dead dad number 2.
Honestly,
speaking of Rocky 4,
this is insane.
Yeah, this is a lot of death. They went. Every character was experiencing death in real time in this episode. But then we find out that her father, whose last name was Shirley Feeney, no, his last name was what was his last name? Fernie. And she, the weird woman, the pastor's wife, Susan. When Carly takes why she did this, I have no idea. She takes the picture off the wall and spins it around, and she sees the name is Susan Fernie, and she's like, "Wait, Fernie? That's my father's name." And then her newly discovered aunt comes clean. And what a creepy thing to do to a human being.
It's honestly, it just felt so. This could have been a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
And they wouldn't even have had to change any of the dialogue.
Yeah,
like it could have.
Felt this was appropriate to throw.
Literally, like, oh my god, I want to reshoot this movie, but as a horror. And
there's a lot of. I say that often with Adrian. It comes up with one of the later movies too, which I'll bring up. Where I'm like, oh, if this just turned and like they were like a killer, or they were abducting this person, this would be amazing. Like just do it.
I agree.
Surprise us,
Hallmark. We'd love to see some murder.
Put it on at like 10 p.m.
They do. They're getting more into that, but not during the Christmas season. The icicle murders would be trademarked. Don't take that.
You
that's
just
ours.
sold your soul.
That's ours.
The icicle murders are ours.
Yeah, you can't. There's no evidence.
It's just
water. Yeah, it's like what I don't know, but the floor's all wet.
Why is the floor all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margaret.
Matthew, our lead male, obviously not interested in Carly because he's in love with another woman.
Are we still talking? We're still
just because I quickly wanted to mention again, that's where we all thought this movie was going until she essentially shoots him down and he goes for second best, is how it felt to me watching it.
Yeah, he was like, all right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, this lady's interested. Let me give her this pic that I found on a bus.
Like, and I just have trouble. I'll talk about it later in H3O, but like all I see is the douchebag Luke from the OC when I see this guy. I don't know if either of you watched the OC, but I did.
I do not. I thought you were going to say Gilmore Girls. I was going to get very angry because Luke is the best.
No, I've never watched an episode of Gilmore Girls. Thank you so much.
We got to fix that. Yeah, I honestly, this is
their bangs.
It's a skip it for me. And Susan, the aunt, if anyone is interested, is the niece of Margot Kidder. So she's not just a Fernie; she's also a Lois Lane. So Lois Lane's Margot Kidder is her aunt in real life. So I thought that was fun. But beyond that,
yeah, I would only watch this to learn how to style my bangs like that.
Yeah, there's no tutorial in the movie
she doesn't show it, so skip it.
4. It gets a 4 on the scale of bodies, but not 4 stars.
Yeah, thank you for the body count, but
speaking of body count, I mean, hey, where are you gonna go? We then use our passport to travel to Friday night, and my Norwegian Holiday.
Yeah.
Please
Friday.
only do this description in a Norwegian accent.
Please would never. And let me tell you, the fact that she even said, "Is this inappropriate cultural appropriation?" when she wore the garb, I was like, "Good on you, lady." Spoiler, no, it's not, and we'll explain why. Friday, December 1st at 8 p.m. JJ, again in the description, grieving the loss of her grandmother.
Oh God, wait, dead grandma! It's a dead grandma! Dead grandma! You had me. There's a lot of video cues today, everybody. I'm trying to really focus.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to focus.
It's okay.
Mike, I'm sorry to you, Agent Coulson. I'm sorry to you. That is
He has left the building.
JJ is grieving, as we said, and seeking a dissertation inspiration. She stumbles upon an unexpected holiday destiny, meeting Henrik, a Norwegian from Bergen. Their connection deepens when he discovers she has a troll figurine from his hometown. To explore, that's why I wore my shirt. It's not a troll, but I mean, I would never call Yoda a troll, but it's as good as I could get. Yeah. To explore the troll's history and her grandmother's ties, JJ agrees to join Henrik on a journey to Norway, which is really another horror film opening.
This was like midsummer during the holidays.
It was hostile. It was hostile to me.
It was hot.
Although
you do not follow this guy all the way as far.
Me too, dude. If I wish my initials were JJ so I could make it happen. In Bergen, they're drawn into Henrik's family Christmas and wedding traditions and his sister's wedding the day before Christmas Eve. JJ embarks on a holiday adventure uncovering the trolls' origins. There's a lot more
Honestly, like we didn't even tap into the horror element of the trolls. There's trolls movies.
Oh yeah.
Not the animated ones. I mean like horror trolls.
The animated ones, that's true.
I had a tough time picking my favorite scene from this one, but we'll save that for the end.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't put Sister Act in from the last one. But directed by David McKay, who directed Ice Sculpture Christmas, written by Betsy Morris, who wrote Wedding Veil Inspiration and A Kismet Christmas, and starring Rihanna Fish from For Love with Chocolate and You're Baking Me Crazy, Chris. We talked about that last week.
And she was also just in Tyler's spring one. They were wonderful.
Oh, right.
Just good.
And David Elsendorn is Henrik. We know from the show Ted Lasso. That's all you needed to tell me. I love him. He's so great. Guys.
Here's the troll. Don't forget the troll. There's the
Please
troll.
don't forget. Like, this is what nightmares are made of.
No, they're not. Well, that's a sweet little boy. What are you talking
about?
He's cute. He's cute.
He's a sweet boy.
When that comes to life, it eats the woman on his head.
That maybe. Oh yeah. Well, it needs sustenance, obviously, but to defend you, Kristin, that's what it's going to do.
Bergen. Also, surprisingly, the name of the trolls or the bad guys that eat the trolls in the troll animated film, they're called the Bergens. It's spelled differently, but yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of connections.
Wait, is that true?
Yes, they're called. I'll look it up.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love this. This sign is legit. They talk about it in the movie.
They must have got it from this. Like it had to be because
it had to be.
Yeah,
There's
they call
no
the bad.
way.
It's the exact spelling. They're like the bad guys that eat the trolls.
This was a contest.
Awesome.
Yeah,
this is how they did this. This was some contest test, and I want to say it was like an Icelandic entry or something like that. So I don't know if it was supposed to be insulting towards Norway. I have no idea. I don't know.
You're talking about the sign or the script for this movie?
No, man, I dug this movie.
No, I loved it. I'm saying, you're saying the sign was a contest.
The sign, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, this is top. I mean, I don't want to show my cards, but this is
yeah. I was like, wow, going.
Yeah, we start off and we feel Hendrik is being dumped in the opening scene. There was something so awkward and weird about it that I thought maybe he was an actor and they were acting out a scene.
Oh,
but we later learned that was his assistant who just could not work with him any longer. And her name also was Jessica. Yep. I was going to say Jessica Jones. That's because I love Marvel.
That would have been amazing. And then David Tennant could have showed up. And then this movie would have been.
David Tennant's the troll. The troll is Purple Man. And that would have been good.
Wow. Marvel. Hallmark.
Listen, Marvel, things aren't going well. We know. We read the.
Talk about trolls. Those are trolls. Yeah, Marvel's fine.
Marvel's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, One of my favorite moments, we haven't had one,
Yeah.
I think this season, was the collision. We had a collision.
Yeah.
And that's like, if that's on your bingo card, good for you. Yes, Kevin, question in the back?
There was a collision in the last movie. I opted to just go right past it, but in the church. Jesus collision. I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, Jesus collision.
Yeah, it was a Jesus collision in the
Sure.
church.
But I don't think anyone dropped anything. This was like full on.
Papers everywhere. You're right.
Like everything was gone.
And how great that Hendrik is like, hey, can we make this dumb kid in your class is D plus a C?
For no reason.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I don't know if it's his accent because he's so great. This character was wonderful. I would hang out with this dude.
Oh, yeah.
But me watching on the outside, I was like, this guy's going to kill her. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was,
I
think
never
the first
trusted
15,
him.
I think the first, like whatever they want, we should come up with a name for like the first 20 minutes
You
that you have to
did,
like
right?
sit through. Yeah.
You
What
called
is
it the chunk. And that's
yeah,
what
the
it
chunk.
is.
It's like the chunk, and then you have the preview, and then the other chunk. It's kind of two parts, and then you kind of like relax into the like movie. I
Yeah.
thought the first chunk was terrifying
Yes.
and almost like borderline terrible because I
Yeah.
was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then this movie wound up being one of my favorites.
Then it
this
was
season
once
so
they
far.
got there, it was quite lovely.
It just was confused. I think they were trying to hide too much stuff with their characters or something, and then the whole thing with like not knowing what his deal was and the people being like staring at him. That was weird and creepy too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Yes.
bizarre.
Because he was in
It's
Ted Lasso, and because we just watched Christmas in Notting Hill, I really thought, oh, he's a soccer player. I just figured, or a footballer.
Right. Like,
I figured everyone's a footballer.
Yeah.
But they had that playful thing in the beginning where she's like, because it's Hallmark, you can't be like, are you going to murder me? It was more like, are you an international jewel thief? Are you an art thief? And they kept playing that. But then when she gets to Norway with this stranger, she sees all these people looking at him in these weird ways. And she's like, why are these people looking at you? And he's like, I'll tell you later.
Like what?
It was murder. It was hostile to start.
Unbelievable.
It was hostile to start.
Also, like, I don't know. What was he, a downhill skier?
Yeah.
Like, do they take it that seriously? Like, would that be like,
Yeah,
in Norway, in those countries, 100%. Like that's
I
all
was
they're
like,
that's because that's all they're
That's what they
going for.
place.
Yeah. Sport wise, like internationally.
got ya.
Yeah, that was legit. Once they announced he's a downhill skier, but I was like, okay,
Got
like,
ya.
yeah, this is real. This is real.
Yeah. And they even mentioned like the country's very big on cross country skiing, but he was always about the adrenaline. So he was a downhill skier. So even that alone was probably enough.
Yeah.
It was cool because there was a lot of like, I think of Norway and well, now because of this movie, I think everyone seems friendly, but he says, don't talk to strangers, which again, the warning of like the horror movie. But everyone was super friendly. And this is a horror movie to those of us who drink, those of us who don't. Good for you. Great choice. I probably should be in that group. But I found it fascinating. He's like, yo, you have to bring alcohol in because it's so expensive here. And I was like, all right, Hallmark.
Hallmark is like, here's a hot tip for you next time you travel to Norway.
That's right.
There was also a lot of really good cultural recognition of personalities, which I thought was nice because I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a different culture of people that act a little differently than like us loud, annoying Americans. You know what I mean? They're a little more reserved. They hold things close to the chest. You know what I mean? They're more resentful. And so as that came out, and I want to bring up the grandmother because I thought she was fantastic. Too, like it was nice to see then that soft side of the Norwegians as well, in addition to the hard side. So a lot of the dynamics of the people of Bergen were really nice.
Yeah, this is Deirdre
Aunt May from Spider-Man.
Aunt May. Yeah, dude, Rihanna Fish can pull a face, and she was so fun to watch. Yeah,
she was
like,
just the ladies this year are crushing it.
Without a doubt. Like some of the scripts have been a little, but for the most part, the people in those films are still absolutely, they're slugging and kicking butt. But
another thing that I might tattoo this on me is I think they were talking about it at dinner or they said it at some point, but they said where they were discussing America's definition of love and how we just use it
so good.
For like, I love cookies, I love people, I love blah, blah, blah.
I love Taylor Swift. Don't forget.
The sentence, love is a verb. It's what you do, not what you say. What?
Yeah.
That's so, my heart grew.
Well, and I knew they were setting up. I was like, "You're gonna get me at the end," because I knew they were setting up him saying it to her, and then I was like, the payoff was great.
It's also important to remember that if you watch Christmas movies on Lifetime, you're literally going to see "Love Is a Verb" this week because they are showing a sex scene first time.
They're showing hot chocolate.
Love is a verb. So yeah, I like this. We also find out Henrik, it's Henrik and his sister. His sister's getting married.
Mm-hmm.
That whole storyline is excellent. Their dad is there. Not their mom, however.
No, the mom is dead. I'm sorry. Is that I got the light and I got the video.
Out of control. Two in this movie,
out all at once.
So
there you go. Look at that technology.
So far. Did the troll do it? We don't know. We
don't
did not
know.
get that kind of an answer, but perhaps. My biggest letdown in this movie is the fact that Hallmark did not release a GIF. It is pronounced GIF of Henrik and his sister Nora dancing together at the wedding. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was almost skanking. Chris, they were almost skanking.
Yeah. It was like the best brother-sister dance ever. I think that's what I liked about, because he plays kind of a similar character in Ted Lasso where he's just lovable.
Very unassuming.
Unassuming, just like genuinely like this person would not do wrong.
Yeah.
And so that was what was fun throughout this movie of watching him once we learned he wasn't a murderer, was that he was genuine.
Yeah.
Listen, we think he's not. I don't want to go on record.
We don't know. When he was running after her with a limp leg in the woods, I was like, he looks like Michael Myers.
No, that was so romantic. His leg was bad and she was upset.
That would be his thing. Yeah, he has his like hockey pole or whatever.
Oh, you guys
would be like exactly.
Ski pole.
A ski.
You're terrible. We do find as Henrik's story unfolds that his coach, Anders, we are introduced to. And Anders happens to be played by the actor Connor Mullen, who was the dad in Christmas in Notting Hill. I just want to note that he's there. He is. The Connor Mullen. Remember Hawaiian shirts, Chris?
Yes, thank you.
Connor Mullen is 57 years old. I'm not pointing that for any other reason than to say that right now. Maybe we'll talk about it in a second. But then we find that as JJ is trying to find the creator of this troll, because that way she can connect with her grandmother, who to her knowledge had never been to Bergen, and then she's slowly finding, there are ties to my grandmother in this country. It is Henrik's grandmother who takes her to this guy, AAA, which happens to be coincidentally Henrik's coach, Anders.
Well.
And we find out who, in fact, carved this devious troll, and it was Anders himself.
It was Anders.
That's not all he carved.
Tough time moving.
What?
That sounds like a horror.
Yeah.
I'm not. He carved out a place in this world with JJ's grandmother. JJ, by the way, the actor, Rihanna Fish, is 32 years old. Again, not pointing it out for any particular reason. Just
I am so confused by your math. Are you saying that he's too young to be her dad?
He's not her dad. He's her freaking grandfather.
He was a little young to be her grandfather. Chris,
the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like doing math, and I'm like, why didn't they make him her father?
Well, I think they were assuming we assumed she was younger.
I think that this was my thinking, is that he was going to be the father, but then they cast the woman to play Henrik's grandmother, and she was amazing. And they're like, we got to bump this up, y'all. We got to bump this up. Use. We got to bump this up. Use.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a good point.
Or what, Mike?
I think there was this like, we have to remove her from Norway for a long enough time and it was the same. What was that other movie where like the mystery of Mistletoe Lane or whatever, where like it would have been absurd if it was like the direct like person. I feel like secret. So it had to be a more like an older secret, but they still had to be alive to kind of go through the thing. Yeah, it didn't bug me too much, but he was very young.
I was doing math and I was getting creeped out. I was like,
I mean, listen, maybe her grandma was a cougar. You know,
that's an elite. All right, so let's just get right into the press. This was cool. This outfit, all of this is amazing.
I love it.
Yes.
It looks HMS Pinafore-y to me, but
I don't know what
that's
that
'cause
means.
I'm ignorant. And
I thought when like when he came out in the dressing, this was another great scene.
Yeah.
Where he comes out in the dressing room and she just like falls in love with him there because like we're so used to like the sexy look, right? The like shirtless look or the tight, everything you love, Chris. And I get it. This doesn't maybe jingle your bell, but it's a different type of bell jingle.
It
Like,
is.
oh, he's such a nerd. He's so goofy. He's so adorable. He's so cute. You know what I mean? So I thought that was nice because it was a different look for a woman.
Agreed, because you expect him to come out in like a tux or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this Bergen's your bell.
Hey.
They smashed my plates.
Hey. Hashtag smash it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. I don't think I put it in there because no, because we don't know anything about her dad. Never mind. I was going to say we never really talk about her dad because I was going to say. Do we? But we don't know. We may not. So, and who needs it? Who needs it? So,
I would like to give this 2 of these.
I agree.
This is like in my top 3. I haven't decided yet where it falls after in Santa Summit Land and the other and Heidelberg, which was a similar movie. But I thought they were so great. I thought the like cultural representation of that, like, because we've seen a couple Scandinavian movies in a row here and some Northern Lights happening multiple times. Was so nice. It just felt warm and nice the whole time.
Yeah, I think they should definitely keep putting this Chicky Babe in more things because she's wonderful.
So good.
Yep, him too.
Thumbs up.
I'm hoping to see them both.
Again. Let's just keep looking at them and their cuteness.
Look how cute they are.
I'm looking at the Northern Lights right there. Then
wait, no, I have my favorite scene.
Please show us your favorite.
I had a lot of choices from this. I could have picked Troll 2, the
the dentist,
the cult classic, terrible horror movie. I could have picked the Trolls. Obviously the animated film. When they go meet trolls in the forest, clearly hearkening to Frozen. You know what I mean? So many IPs. I could have went to, but of course, my favorite scene is when the lady from America goes to the foreign city market and falls in love with the guy. Yeah. So this is of course.
Seen this.
Yeah, this of course.
Treasures await at the most magical Christmas market.
Oh no! Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Joya.
I do love that. That's the 3rd time.
yeah. But no, that was Joy Noel. All right, I'll show you my actual favorite scene from the movie where the girl from America goes to the foreign marketplace and falls in love with the guy that's there. This is the actual clip.
What brings you to Heidelberg?
I'm here to sell my artwork.
Oh no, that's Heidelberg. I'm so sorry. It's the 3rd one, but it's fun to compare them. This is my favorite.
How else are you supposed to get someone to a foreign country?
How else?
Totally.
Come on.
Totally.
Well, speaking of foreign countries and fake reality,
foreign countries.
Oh no, not fake foreign. Was it a fake foreign situation? Do we have like a prison?
Yeah, it was called like NORAM.
NORAD. They've been tracking Santa for years. We have a not so royal Christmas, Saturday, December 2nd at 8:00. When tabloid journalist Charlotte attempts to land an interview with a reclusive count, I can only imagine what Mike's going to play at the end. In response, the royal family has a groundskeeper pose as the count, since the real one fled years ago. Also, sounds like a horror movie. Directed by Jonathan Wright, who directed The Royal Nanny, and written by Anna White, who wrote Campfire Christmas and Butlers in Love. This stars Brooke D'Orsi as Charlotte from A Fabled Holiday, which I did not put. I should have, but I didn't. And also a Dickens of a Holiday. And Will Kemp as Adam, a.k.a. the Count, from A Merry Scottish Christmas and Christmas.
And from Julie's Dreams.
Yep. He's
Kevin's wife's dreams.
He definitely looked far better in this one than he did in he looked totally great in Merry Scottish Christmas. But the one last year, I forget, it was like the Christmas Shopper. He had the Christmas Shopper.
Oh, yeah.
They cut his hair so weirdly that it was like,
I miss his, I'll talk about this in H3O, but I miss his beard, man.
Yeah. They referenced the beard at one point. It was funny because I think Jensen said,
Jensen, his buddy.
You know what's up with Jensen.
That guy was awesome.
He was great.
This movie features a classic Hallmark villain. Classic. In Lindsay Owen Pierre is the actor. There he is playing Tony.
Look at him. Look at him.
So hateable. I love this person.
It was
so hateable in this role. I loved it.
They were good.
And it's also like, if when people ask me, they're like, oh, like my friend Brittany at work, who's never seen a Hallmark movie, stayed home for Thanksgiving and was with their roommate and was like, we're gonna watch like a Hallmark movie because neither of us have ever seen one.
Which one do you recommend? And you're like, there's a Penn Christmas one. Watch
and I was like, watch any of the royal ones. Please start with a royal one because they are redunculous. And that's what she did. And these royal ones can be so redunculous.
Oh yeah.
And this one I felt was on the lesser of the redunculousness because Will Kemp's character was not really royalty. We didn't have to deal with this like prince being like, no, I don't know how to be a regular person in a flannel shirt.
I have to give a speech because my father, the king, has died.
Yeah, like I'm over it. This was a lovely twist on a royal of we didn't have to deal with really too many royals, to be honest.
and the royals we did deal with when the king and queen came in, they were the most reasonable royals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because like this, for lack of a better word, this peasant, because they know of the ruse, and this peasant suggests things, and the king is just like, do whatever you want. I don't care.
I know. They just didn't care. And that's
That was
why.
a very good king, Kevin. That was a very good king.
Very good king.
Do what you must. Leave me alone.
Do what you must. I think like the what's his name? The Jeeves, the guy that
Sir Gustav, I think.
Like he was the most royal in the entire movie until he said his piece of, you know, this has been in my, look at him.
He was great.
He was very good.
Like look at the neck flourish. And he has a pocket square.
I was worried at first with him because they had done a movie in years past. I've watched so many of these. I don't recall which one. And it may not have even been Hallmark. It may have been one of the Netflix ones. But there was a royal one. And his role was the bad guy. He was the man manipulating things. And that was my fear. I was like, don't go down that road because I like this guy. Because he and Adam, which is the Count's real name, Will Kemp is his real name, I guess. But they had like a nice connection early on, even though Sir Gustav is, I think it's Gustus. Sir Gustus is like, to your point, Chris, it's a role. He's in a role that he was raised to do. His father did the same thing.
It's like the dude from Downton Abbey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who is that guy, right? And I think what was cool about it was that because Will Kemp, we didn't have to watch a royal want to not be royal. We just watched a regular guy never still want to be royal. You know what I mean? Like, so that their relationship was so much more fun to watch than like, I'm royal and you're my servant and blah. Like that's stupid. Like, and I love the idea of this, that they were both lying to each other.
Yeah, I like it, but then I always feel like it takes away your ability to be angry.
Yeah,
like,
so
and
when
they
they
both
do,
were angry, and I was like, you don't have that right, man.
When she got all mad, I was like, girl.
No, they were both like equally justified and wrong, and that made the ending a little difficult for me. You know what I mean? Because it was too much back. You would have just settled it quickly, I think.
Right.
I think so too. And
either, like it could have been bad too, or good. They get together, but either way, it's done not as long as it took to sort of get through.
No, it took.
We did have, however, well, the Count's not there because he fell in love and he left, and that was great. This not Count also falls in love and stays, which the original Count apparently could have stayed. That was
honestly, I wrote that down. I said, Will Kemp just got to become what the other Count wanted.
Yeah, and he's not even bloodline. He was,
and he's not like.
Also, when he said like, "Yeah, I'll do it, but I don't want to live at the castle,ll," I'm like, "Stop!
I was like,
stop! You're clearly going to live at the castle.
All that delicious food. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That was a little. They didn't need to make him count. Like I think we could have I think we would have been okay if he wasn't Count.
It would have been fine if he was still the fake Count to everyone else except for the people. Like if it all happened behind the scenes, but the fact that he was publicly outed, it made no sense. Unfortunately, that it was dumb for them to make him.
That was dumb.
It felt like it was more for all the people. It was like we're doing this as a symbol.
Yeah,
and they did say a
yeah.
Count in name, or I forget how they worded it. It wasn't, he was not of a royal bloodline, obviously, and there was something else missing in his life, if you recall.
Yeah, it's his mom, everybody. It's his mom. No,
his wife.
Oh,
it's his
mom?
dad.
Sorry.
It's his dad.
Yeah,
I don't.
You jumped the gun. Hold on, you jumped the gun.
No.
It's his dad.
Yeah.
Just say
Her
both of them.
mom.
Who's
Her mom
Her
is dead.
mom.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this one up from
They
the.
bonded.
Oh, that's the dead mom. Let's see. That's not too many. I've got.
But in dry royal, in dry British tradition, the way you find that out is his mother is hanging garland, and he goes, "Let me help you. Is this fake?" And she goes, "Your father would be rolling in his grave if I put fake garland up." And I was like, the Brits.
The Brits. The Brits.
I was doing so.
Yeah, we had some death. We also had the quintessential, not red. They went green on this. The green dress at the end, and I will say, man, that dress was awesome. It was
Yowza.
a really nice.
That was cool.
Him with
It was
this
cool that it was green too.
Yeah.
Because I think Hallmark costume people are not listening, but they're like, we get it. You're tired of the red, because we're always like this red dress moment. Either that or they're trying to mess up people's bingo cards, because I think like red dress moment is on a bingo card.
Maybe.
I think there is a little bit of that happening.
Yeah.
With where they're changing it on purpose. You know
I think so. I think they're trying to. Yeah. But this, gorgeous.
Overall, this film, I was. It's not the worst, but if you don't catch it, I don't think it's the end of the world.
No, agreed with you. I think I wish that we had more of in this movie, like where it was like we wanted more hockey. I wanted more of him and Jensen.
Yeah.
Like I want a spin-off now of those two, and now that they're both at the palace.
Yeah. My only fear would be I dug the dude. There he is. He's talking about the fish that he caught, apparently.
Yeah.
That's not what's happening.
In his Clark Kent glasses.
And he's like, "What are you, Superman?" Like, come on, it was hilarious.
A similar character, not nearly as like bombacious. That's not really a word, but like as the character in, I forget his name, the Scottish, big Scottish dude.
Oh yeah.
A Merry Scottish Christmas, but a similar type feel. Like, obviously he could speak truth to power, even though Adam is in power. But in other people's eyes, he is. So
I thought you were going to say, because again, I guess that Hallmark is writing this character, which I absolutely love, is this like fun dude friend. Because sometimes they're always just like duds. But the one with Tyler Hines and the reunion, there was like that one guy that also had that same energy, like the class clown guy. So
I think they've been turning that around. If you go all the way back, even to the Nine Lives of Christmas, the first one, Brandon Roush's friend, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, was the dude we love. I forget his name now, but he played the crappy father in the Jenga movie that I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. We love, oh my God.
But I like that the friends are way more in touch with like, male emotions and stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's so much better. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I like this. This was very medium. Like it's going to be dead center, I think, of my list. It wasn't terrible. There were just some things that part of the plot that just got a little.
Agreed.
Did you have a favorite scene by chance?
I do have a favorite scene. This is, of course, the scene where the person who's not really a royal becomes a royal and then has to fall in love with someone else. This is a bad setup, but it's my favorite.
I love this scene.
It's my favorite scene. Oh, it's not big. Wait,
you can't just say something like that and walk away. I will have you know that I am very.
Oh, that's Princess Diaries. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that looks like the topiary from Genovia.
I swear this was Princess Diaries 3. Like this is the plot. You just flip out. She's the one, and then there's the thing, and there's confusion, and it's a make believe land. You know what I mean?
Those are my favorites.
Princess
Diaries. She was royal though. So let us not forget. I did think he was going to be royal because there were two mentionings. The one part where Brooke Diorcy's character was talking. Yeah, she was talking about the way the lines crossed and the great grandfather. And I was like, he's going to be royal. And then later she was talking about the tree. It had that heart. And she's like, when the two different royal lines got together, and I was like,
I hate to say it, but that probably would have made the movie better for me.
Yeah.
I think it would have made the ending it would have been cheesy, but like,
it would have been.
What are we dealing with here? You know what I
It
mean?
would have been like Spaceballs.
Or King Ralph. Mike would have had a King Ralph instead at the end of this.
I don't know. Just all I could think of was Princess Diaries 3 and being like, this is silly.
This is yeah.
All I could think about was on Sunday night.
Hey,
Oh boy.
look at them holding the sleigh. I
them holding
haven't seen this
on.
promo image. Oh my god.
It's this. I will say Hallmark. This is a perfect description of this movie. What are we doing here? A woman returns home to help her family's Christmas carnival, and romance ignites. A photojournalist curates a surprise reunion. That's a spoiler. Don't put that in though.
That is a spoiler.
Directed by Roger M. Bob, who directed A Holiday Stocking, which I do recall us all, I think, enjoying.
We did.
And written by Maggie Bush, who has written some shorts and some smaller scaled stuff. And I know I'm going to butcher this name, and I apologize, but Landre Idiwu, I believe. And this is their first foray into writing for
fun.
This is starring Michelle Morgan as Mona from The Young and the Restless and Hometown Holiday. Listen, man, she's done like almost 800 episodes of The Young and the Restless, and it shows because the one thing I will not take away from her is she's a very good actor. Like she is excellent on her feet. Ronnie Rowe Jr., who is just a dog in this one a bit, but as Des from Inventing the Christmas Prince and Jingle Bell Bride, and Jamie M. Kalika as Fletcher from Christmas Party Crashers.
Cute.
They're both handsome.
Very.
I thought we were looking at a throuple in this one, to be quite honest.
Ooh, that would have been nice. Yeah, we could have. Oh, we should need what's the Tyler Hines one? What was that one called again? Never Been Kissed?
Yeah.
It's called Kiss. Yeah.
Never,
This is. Yeah.
Similar vibes.
Very similar of like
Chris.
Ruh-roh. Too many.
It is another writer liar, though. We have another writer back to back writer liars.
I'm telling you, man, like these aren't, I don't understand.
Yeah.
This one's tough. It's okay, everybody.
I know. Because the actors were trying so hard.
I know.
And I don't think that Ronnie Rowe's character needed to become a villain at any point.
No.
It wasn't needed. She just had to choose. Was it the guy that she thought she, missed a chance with in high school?
Yeah.
Or with like a redemption story? Or it was this guy that like they bumped heads at first and didn't really see anything you know what I mean? Like that's enough.
Yeah.
We didn't need him to write like this puff piece of it being like a bad Christmas thing. Like
I know. What was that? What I hate about Christmas. Your family.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
That was weird.
It was a weird reveal.
Like, what?
To talk about first chunks again, I thought that I said out loud, I'm like, this movie's over. Like in the first chunk, I was like, this worked out perfectly. She met the guy. They're hitting it off. They wrote it to start like they were both into each other, and it didn't need to be like forced within the movie that they got together. That's what kept happening. She wanted it to be like true love and a marriage, like on the spot at the Christmas dance. You know what I mean? And the first part was good, and then when it started to get to the battle between them, weird.
When because the opening was that guy, like she was inviting him somewhere, like to her family or whatever.
Right.
I thought when
that was funny. Yeah, that was actually good. I loved that.
That was funny. But when Fletcher was like, "Oh, I have something to ask you," and they kept putting it off.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, he is not asking her to the dance. It is something else." And then when it was the dance, I was like, "Oh."
It felt like somebody took the end of the script and like rewrote it.
Yeah.
Story. They're like, this isn't fun enough or something.
Right.
So,
it did feel
like that was enough.
They had a decent story in it, but it felt like an ice sculpture, and they ran out of time or something and never got to it.
Maybe
to really shape it.
Yeah. The family was great. I thought the family was
They
cute.
were absolutely.
Yeah.
The kids were great. The storyline with and that's the spoiler, and it is Dez is gonna his dad. As soon as he said, "My father's a high-ranking officer in the Navy," I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, their
Forget
dad's
it.
coming home for
Easy.
Christmas."
Easy.
Yeah. Also, when the dad was like, my back, I thought he was dying.
No, Chris, it drove me crazy because
I thought he was
the
too.
parents are giving away. It was between the dad's bad back and the mom falling asleep one time while making a quilt.
Right. I was like, oh my
"We're
God,
too
they
old."
both have the plague.
Yeah.
Like, they're both dying.
It was like, listen, rest up. You guys are gonna be fine. But
Adrian
like,
said back tumor out loud, and
Right?
yeah.
Back tumor?
I don't know. I mean,
PTs.
it's not out of that would have been more
Right.
impactful
Or like,
than just
I-
we need to give up the carnival that only happens for this small town.
this movie had 0 dead people.
No deaths, everybody. The body count stands at 37.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I also like
Maybe
this.
needed
I think
death.
I've spoken to family pressure in these
Yeah.
movies. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like because her mom was like, I get that you have a job, but like
Yeah.
quit it and move here to do this carnival that happens in just 1 month of the year.
Yeah. Her job is though, like I forget what they called it. Ultimately, it's an influencer. There it is.
Yeah.
Also, we're not bringing in water ice or whatever they call it. Snow cones.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
We've got eggnogs, hot chocolates, and all. Come on.
Her job is
Yeah.
her job is legit. I mean, not that you're not. I don't think you're questioning that, Kevin.
No,
but,
no.
Yeah. But I could that part played out okay.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
it did. It helped. Obviously, it helped
Yes,
the carnival.
yes.
You know,
Yeah,
she was able to
exactly.
bring in more people
Yeah.
just through that. I will say that I know that it's merely acting, but my man Ronnie Rowe Jr., your some more building style needs work. That is
Whoa.
that is just come on. I don't know what's
That's
happening.
shoddy work.
The kids
But-
just went inside with their marshmallow on the stick.
Bye.
Why not? Oh, I did want to ask you guys, how do you do your marshmallow when you're doing a s'more? Do you just do that light browning or do you burn the crap out? Do you Darth Vader that thing?
No, I lightly crisp it so as though it is
Neither.
melted in the middle to be able to smoosh, but I don't like a burn one.
Love
Ugh.
it. And I know it's like carcinogens, but like you're like, well, that's like a year off my life. But oh man, it's so
Ooh.
good.
I love marshmallows and s'mores, so I like them in all the different varieties.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly. I like a burned one just straight off like a stick that you found in the woods, and so you're getting the carcinogens and the dirt.
And the dirt.
But for a s'more, I'm then on Chris's side. I'm really patient.
Yeah.
Really
Yes.
patient. It's got to be like perfect. It's got to be like
Yes.
falling off and brown. Yeah.
I have the fire pit guys come out anytime.
Oh,
That's more to Chris and Mike because I would assume most of you don't know where I live. So you don't show up.
or do they?
Yeah, unless you're
Don't show up and honk your horn like a Fletcher would do.
Yeah.
Knock at the door.
Fletcher.
Yeah, they did the tropes. They did the old good.
He was
good
He
with
was like her
kids.
dad at times. The things he would say and he would correct her. And I was like, that's not romantic, man.
Fletcher.
But only in the second part of the movie. Like I texted
Yeah.
you both. I stand with Fletcher because I thought it was such a weird left turn writing wise. I had nothing to like. He
I
was
was-
fine. He
I
was fully
stand with
nice
He
and
was-
fine.
right.
I wanted it almost to be worse. Like I wanted him to have the wife, like,
family.
which was the joke. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the joke, right? She keeps picking these guys that have families or whatever. That
Yeah.
would have been better, even though it would have been
Yeah.
kind of tropey. Like then you're like, oh my god, yeah, f this dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to go with this other guy who's also weird and was
Yeah.
kind of stealing her from him and like being like, oh, he's like I don't know, honk the horn. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know.
When they were at the it wasn't really the tree lighting, but essentially what it would be the tree lighting.
Yeah.
And he snuck away, and that woman came up and started talking to Dez, and she was talking about like all the different people that come from different counties and stuff like that. I thought because she was so weird and out of left field, I was like, she's going to have dated Fletcher in high school, and he lied to Mona about why he broke. Because even the reason that they broke up was so legitimate, where he's like, my grades started to suffer, and my dad, and I was like, that's all legit, and you're young and dumb, and he even said
Yeah.
I was young and stupid. Like everything about Fletcher was decent, with the exception of when he was about to kiss her. Like I think that happened like 5 times with them, and the fire alarm went off, and he immediately was like, I gotta go. I was like, just kiss her, dude. Like,
Fletcher, dude.
who
Yeah.
cares if listen, we have alarms on this show, and Agent Coulson leaves the room, sure, but beyond that,
I think that like the only like think, yeah, because he was a decent dude, but then he didn't want babies. So like, okay, then that's why they didn't.
Even better, dude, Chris.
Dude,
well, that's
why I put him in H3O.
Yeah, I know. No, thank you for that. I'm excited for that moment because you put both. Yeah, and just weird that she was so obsessed with like finding her true love, like in the. I'm like, go on. You've seen the guy for a couple dates since he's been back.
Right.
I know he said he didn't want kids, but like you clearly like him. So then for her to like when they, I don't know. I stand with Fletcher.
Stand with Fletcher. Yeah. This is one of those movies I wrote. If you have time, watch it. But again, it's okay to skip this one.
Yeah, I love my man Ronnie Rowe Jr. There's something so appealing about him, but
he's sexy.
I don't know.
Yep. Speaking of sexy.
Hot dudes.
Hot dudes.
Let's talk about some hot dudes.
Let's talk about some hot dudes. I wish we had a video or like a song that like went along.
I mean, I can sing it.
Do it.
It's that time again. Objectification. H3O.
I know that some compression thing happens to your audio mic and most of it drops out, but I still love that you sing it every time.
Yeah, I think maybe I fixed it. I don't know. We'll see.
Welcome back to another episode of H3O where we objectify the male leading roles, people in these films because the women folk are tired of being objectified and therefore it's the men's turn.
Yeah.
So let's begin. Chris,
I thought that was your sound effect for this guy for a second. I was like, oh boy. No.
Let's begin with Chris Carmack. I spoke on this earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, also very important to note, our rating is 1 out of 10 Heinies because Tyler Heine is the top of the charts. Yeah. So all I will ever see of this dude is Luke from the OC. And he was a tool bag until he did have a little bit of a redemption story, but he was still just a doof.
Yep. Hard to
I don't like doofy dudes. Like, I don't like dudes that are just like, do, I'm handsome. So this guy didn't do anything for my bells.
Wow.
He didn't.
Hit us with it.
The only reason I'm going to give him this number is because thank you for your service. A 4.
Okay.
Hey.
I think that's legit. I'm not far from there. He did pick up trash on the bus. I appreciate that. It turned out to be an important plot point. Plop. But he wasn't one of these people who's like, I'm just going to walk over this. He also was reading the same book that she was, and I don't believe that was ever acknowledged ever again at any point. So
no, I guess it's what the movie's based on.
No, it's the song, right? It's the Blake Shelton song. So. Well, regardless, I'm right down the middle of this guy. 3 points when you want to get 7. I give him a 5. The 3 points was the field goal. That's the right down the middle. I know I confused you.
5. I didn't watch this, so I will abstain. But I will say you included this photo of, is that him from?
Yeah, sorry, that's him from the OC.
From the OC. So I can't give a ranking for him in this movie, but I will give his middle part down the center, 90s, late 90s, early 2000s middle part, a 10. I'm gonna give a 10.
How I wore it too, Mike.
That's Look at how it's like he's got a good swoop going on. Got a good
swoop going. The OC. I love
that
show.
How he wore it in the 90s is how I wore it, and how he wears it now is how I would wear it.
I had a middle part too, Kevin, long ago.
Skipping on to Ruh-Roh, this cutie patootie. I'm going to start with Mike on this one. We'll go backwards on this one.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, this was my favorite movie of the week. It was one of my top 3 of the season. He doesn't jingle my bells, Chris. So that's the only reason why he's getting knocked down a peg. But he was the nicest guy of all time. Once we learned he wasn't a murderer. He's getting a 7.5. I know that feels low. It feels low, but it's just because he's not sexy to me. But yeah. But he was so nice in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know your type, Mike. This dude's my type, man. I liked him a lot. I thought he was hot. I thought he was funny. It was We try to be very careful when we text. We more or less, the three of us text each other just to kind of let us know. Yeah, we keep spoilers out of our texts most of the time, not always. But I said something about this Hunk, and Kristin had just started watching. She's like, I'm sorry, are we watching the same movie? And Mike said, that's where you coined the phrase. You go, whoa, get through the first chunk, because he's a little weird in the first chunk.
Yeah.
This dude, I liked him in the beginning. By the end of it, I freaking loved him.
Aww.
I gave him a 9.
Wow.
Nice.
So you think this guy's sexy, Kevin?
I do. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of it, again, I'm pulling some of that from Ted Lasso too, but every time they would cut to him in Ted Lasso, you knew he was good for an amazing zinger. And he's in that locker room with all those hot dudes. Speaking of
hot dudes?
Yep.
So far, we're letting other IPs influence us this week, Chris and Kevin. I'm a little bit disappointed. No, it's fine.
Yeah, like this, to me, this guy would be like a buddy. Like I would chill with this dude.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't.
Netflix and chill?
Marry, kill.
No.
Yep.
No.
F, marry, kill is the game here.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not bad looking.
Yeah.
He's better looking than like the I'm a dude dudes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I do like he's kind of goofy and nerdy, but it's not the goofy. I think I'm learning in my life that I like darker hair better.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he's pretty blonde.
So he's very blonde for me, which Norwegian. Well done. Also,
don't feel bad. Yes, honest score. Give an honest score. It's okay.
I'll give an honest score of a 6.5.
Yeah, that's right.
I would chill with this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, so far your plates are completely intact, and that's okay. That's okay.
I think I'm learning more and more that me and Kristin both like very similar guys.
I think so. We would be so competitive if we weren't married.
I'm a sense of humor will get me every time.
All
right, next up.
Uh-oh.
A rut-row.
Oh, rut-row.
This is an unfair picture of this, Kristin. Unfair. Sometimes Kristin sways us with her.
Chris has used that photo, and every time we have
every time. It is the most stunning photo.
Yeah.
I would like to start with Julie. What?
I will tell you, she's in the background. She smiled at that. She did say, so I was talking to my mom about this movie. And my mom goes, oh, another royal movie. I go, Mom, they do a royal film every year. This is the one. And I said, it was good. It's worth checking out. And in the background, Julie goes, I've seen better. But I think Julie still liked Will Kemp. But I think if push came to shove, she probably liked him more in Merry Scottish Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, I could ask her, but I'm not going to.
I mean,
get your own show, Julie.
Get your own
show. What's your score, Kevin?
My score is going to be an 8.
Yes.
Because I thought this dude was super cool.
Yeah.
And I just liked that he was like, I actually thought he looked better looking in his like a wrinkled clothes than this suit.
100%. 100%.
I don't like that. I don't want a cleaned up dude. I want this guy that's hair's tousled and he's got a beard.
We're simpatico on this one because I was also an 8. My one problem with him was, and he never expected, Chicky Babe. That's a Kristin Finger line.
Yeah.
Charlotte, I think her name was, to go into the kitchen. But when he himself-fied his mom's bakery, he took all the pictures and put them in a pile, like right inside of a door. So when she goes in, she's like, what's all this? And it's like, you idiot.
I feel like I had a weird moment where I was like, I feel like they set either he or his mom did that on purpose so that she would figure it out. That was a deep. I was thinking that. Hey, everybody, I put
a Hallmark movie before.
I know. Too much thought. Hey, y'all, we're all synced up here. I only just don't give whole numbers.
Yeah.
I gave a 7.9. 7.9.
Hey!
I thought he was very attractive in his glasses and hat.
Yes.
You remind me of Tom Cavanaugh a little bit.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Love Tom Cavanaugh.
All right.
Oh my
next up, this is a big one. We got 2.
2. How do we? Okay.
Because I wanted us to talk about Des and Fletcher. I mean, I couldn't just bring one up. It was
it's smart. This is the right way to do it.
You know. So I'll start and give Des. You know what? I'm giving both.
Okay.
I'm giving both a 6.5 because both were a little shady.
Yeah.
But both are very handsome.
Yeah.
And the only you know what? Ronnie Rose getting a 6.6
Yeah.
because at the end he wore plaid pants with that velvet jacket, and that was hot.
Yeah.
So 6.6 to Ronnie Rowe, and the other hottie patootie is gonna get a 6.5.
Nice.
It's so, dude, again, Kristin, you and I on this one. Mike, you had said that you and Chris are, but like I was a 6.5, not realizing we were doing Fletcher as well. So on Des, I was 6.5. I am going to go the opposite, and I'm going to bump Fletcher up to a 6.6 because not the way he decorated the fire truck, but the fact that he thought that it was good. I'm going with 6.6 on that.
Yeah, no, not that. I think our highs and lows are closer, Kevin. I think like normally we're all pretty synced up. Yeah, I have 6s here as well. I'm actually a tiny bit higher because I think they're both very handsome. I think this picture of I did not like the goatee Des. I like this Des better. So I'm bumping up based off your picture. I'm going 6.8 and 6.9 because I stand with Fletcher. Everybody,
stand with Fletcher. Stand with Fletcher.
They did him dirty at the end there.
They did him dirty.
Yeah,
they did.
She did say, "I'll see you next Christmas." So it's like, wait a second.
He'll find someone like me that doesn't want babies.
Bizarre. What a weird.
Thank you for joining us for another H3O.
Nope, that's it. It cut out. We're good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right. That was it.
That we did it.
We did it. I love when we say we did it. Let me hit a couple quick things. You can watch us here on YouTube. Obviously, you can email us your thoughts, your questions, your complaints, your accolades. We take them all.
If you're Julie Sherman Wolf, you can rub it in that the 49ers beat the
that 49ers victory. Yeah. Listen, Julie knows it comes back around. We'll play again. We will meet.
They will play again. They will play.
Yeah, without a doubt. But you can write to us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. You can also follow us on the Instagrams and Facebook at Remark the Show as well. If you are in the Philadelphia area, Chris, you're going to have to help me out with dates. You can check out the show Hallmarkable to Rave Reviews.
It is playing this Friday at 8 o'clock, and there's Saturday a matinee, then next Friday at 8 o'clock, and then a Saturday at matinee, and then we close that Friday before Christmas time at 8 o'clock.
Awesome.
This past weekend, Jake and Michael fell in love because they both like architecture and stained glass.
True. Crown molding, I believe.
Crown molding as well. Stained glass and crown molding.
Love it.
The picture that you have of Michael holding Jake is so adorable.
My God.
Yeah.
It's like freaking Titanic happened on stage.
Not Hallmarkable, but how about that kiss at the end of Not So Royal Christmas? By the way, that sweeping kiss. I forgot to mention that. That was something else.
I guess.
You can tune in next week. There are 4 more Hallmark movies. We are in the final stretch, but will we get to the desperately needed number of, what did I say it was? 49?
Yeah.
49. We have, they're up there. To All a Good Night, we have A Magic in Mistletoe, Christmas on Cherry Lane, and Round and Round. Round and Round's the one I'm most excited about. It's Hanukkah, but it's
it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. So I'm very excited.
The Hanukkah ones are always good. You know why? Because there's one and they do it well, and it's not 400 of them. Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm looking forward to all of
these. Great.
Yeah.
Because I love Kimberly Sestat. We love Paul Campbell. We love Jonathan Bennett, and we love a Groundhog Day movie.
That Christmas on Cherry Tree Lane has everybody too. Like you, John Brothers.
Yeah.
Like you, so many different people that are in that one. That's going to be one of those. Like So yeah,
that'll be cute.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I never. Sorry, Kristin, what were you going to say?
Nothing. It's not important.
No, I'm sure it's lovely. No,
Mike, what was your favorite scene? Were you going to tell?
Well, that's what I was. I didn't get a chance to show my favorite scene from Christmas with a Kiss, which was, of course, the scene where the 2 sisters dance to a holiday classic.
Yeah.
Watch the
prize for you.
Stop.
The Hain sisters.
We watched the whole thing. There they are.
Which ones?
I know. You can tell by their
hands.
hands.
It's the two guys.
Oh.
Hot dudes.
That's White Christmas.
That was a text I sent to Kristin. Every time there were sisters in any Hallmark movie, they do got to dance. Like
They do got to dance.
Yeah.
Speaking of dancing, I will not be dancing. I had a lovely friend text me to see if I was going. I'm not going to Christmas Con, people.
Yeah.
I don't have the money to stand in line. I've taken photos with all the boys that I want to take pictures with.
But well, not me.
Maybe we should do a review. Maybe that weekend we do a review of Kristin with the boys.
Yeah.
You know, like a recap of
Boycott.
Yeah. So sorry with that. I'm not going.
And if you want Kristin to go and want to yell at her,
Venmo me.
No.
No, you can't do that. We can't do that.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Nobody cares about the Philadelphia.
yeah, Philly's
Nobody
re-up Rob
cares about
Thompson.